When we think of cities in the Grand Theft Auto titles, the first to usually come to mind are either Los Santos, Vice City, or if you are more of an old school kind of guy, Liberty City, San Fierro, or even Las Venturas are also not bold choices. However, when someone would say Carcer City, I would probably send them to a mental hospital. Carcer City is a place that some of you guys might know something about, while I'm sure a large portion of you hasn't ever even heard of it. So what is this place? And more importantly, where is it? What cities is Carcer City exactly based off of? And why does Michael seem to have a connection with this weird town?
88, outskirts of Carcer City. Took a small franchise for 10G.
These are the questions that have surrounded many GTA fans ever since the 3D universe days. And today, as I have carved through the deep corners of the internet to come out with every piece of information there is to know about the most mysterious city in the GTA universe, I think we have found answers to all of the earlier questions. Now, to start off, Carcer City has really only ever been included into the Rockstar title called Manhunt. Although Manhunt is not the GTA title, then it's very much canonically confirmed to take place in the same universes as GTA. And if you now think that which GTA universe am I exactly referring to, then we have countless evidence from both the 3D universe and the HD universe that Carcer City is very much a real place in both of them. As the 3D universe is the older one of these, let's quickly go over all of the evidence that we have about the city so you understand what we are even talking about. Carcer City was first mentioned in the GTA 3 title, where a radio news channel can be heard speaking about the Carcer City Police Department.
So I'm sitting here reading the Liberty Tree, and it says in nearby Carcer City, a good day for law and order as Police Chief Gary Shaver was cleared of corruption charges in a controversial decision by the courts. Let's hope those missing witnesses turn up safe and sound.
Now, this Gary Shaffer guy that the news mentioned is also a minor character in Manhunt, and although we don't exactly know what he looks like, it already confirms that both games are talking about the same Carcer City. Furthermore, in GTA Vice City, there is a mattress store called Joe's Beds, whose company slogan is Best Mattresses in Carcer. Not only mattress stores, but Vice City also has a store called Right on Aid in Little Havana, an exact same store chain that can also be seen in Carcer City. In GTA San Andreas, there is a company called Carcer Gas that produces these blue barrels of gas, which can also be seen in Manhunt. And although I couldn't find clips to confirm this, then apparently NPCs can often be heard screaming that they will move to Carcer City if you go to annoy them. Now, moving on to the HD universe, there are even clearer clues that connect Carcer City with GTA 4 and GTA 5. Starting with GTA 5, for the first time ever, we actually got a main protagonist that has himself been to the place, with Michael literally confirming to have robbed a bank there back in 1988.
Mikey, bro, what was your first bank score?
88, outskirts of Carcer City. Took a small franchise for 10G. Yeah, things were easier back then.
Yeah, 25 years ago. Jesus!
And like that wasn't enough proof already that the place exists, there is also a street in Rockford Hills named the Carcer Way, just in front of the main Los Santos customs, as well as an arcade game called Camheads, which also seems to take place in Carcer. And finally in GTA 4, there is firstly a police database which includes people that have been born in Carcer City. Secondly, in the distance traveled statistic, there is a general distance called called Liberty to Carcer, which is one of the lower levels and suggests that Carcer is not too far away from Liberty City. There are again claims that many NPCs mention Carcer City in different conversations, but I again couldn't really find any proof of that. So I think that all of this is more than enough evidence to confirm that Carcer City is indeed a real place in also the GTA universes, and not just some random fan theory. But given this conclusion, where then is this mythical city? None of this evidence seems to at first sight really tell us anything more detailed about the city itself, but it has to be based off of something, right? Because every city in GTA has, and most likely always will be, a spin-off of a real-life location. So I suggest that let's just start from all the evidence we have and try to make logical conclusions, which I promise will lead us to the final answer of which real-life city is Carcer City really representing. The city's slogan is "This is what the Heartland is all about." Additionally, the city is on numerous occasions mentioned as a Rust Belt city. Now, for those of you who are not really familiar with history and geography, the US Heartland is an industrial region of America that has historically been the producer of steel in the country, hence why it is often referred to as the Rust Belt. And this is the general area for that region, a belt that goes all the way from the east coast to the Midwest. Therefore, we know the rough location of Carcer from this straight away. However, there are a ton of big cities in that area, and the place is just too general for us to have a good answer. So let's take a look a bit deeper. We know that the city has a subway system, as some missions in Manhunt take place in the metro tunnels. Now, there are about 6 to 7 cities in the Rust Belt region which either have a heavy rail or light rail systems that are at least partially underground. We have Chicago, Philadelphia and Cleveland, which all have full heavy rail systems all underground. Then we have Pittsburgh and Buffalo, which have a light rail network that is at least partially also underground. Technically, St. Louis also has an underground light rail system, and it is part of the Rust Belt area, but the city is really far in the southwestern corner of the belt. And finally, we have Cincinnati, which in theory has had an underground light rail system for around 50 years, but the construction of it has largely been postponed, and currently there is only a small part of the system that is actively working. So, we have managed to narrow it down to 7 different cities in the Heartland region, but let's go and try to get a real definitive answer. If you know the background story of Michael DeSanta, then you know that he is from the Midwest. Although the Midwest is quite a general and huge region of the US, then most players believe Michael is somewhere from or near the state of North Dakota. The reason for it being that in 2004 he robbed a bank in the town of Ludendorff, North Yankton, a place that I, as well as many other creators, have confirmed to be a place in North Dakota. If we now take into account that 16 years prior to that robbery, Michael robbed a bank in the so-called outskirts of Carcer City,
88, outskirts of Carcer City.
there are really only 4 cities that are somewhat close to North Dakota. This is important because it wouldn't make sense for Michael to go and make his first robbery somewhere really far away from his home, like Philadelphia or Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania or Buffalo, New York. But digging even deeper into the city whereabouts, when we take a look at the subway system map of Carcer City, there is a station called Rocks North Bay. While the name Rocks North comes from Rockstar's subsidiary company of Rockstar North that actually creates the GTA titles, then Bay implies that the city lies on the shore of a bigger body of water. In the case of the Midwest, it really can only be either Chicago or Cleveland, as they lie on the shore of the Great Lakes. So from all of this evidence, it has to be either of those cities, right? Well, not quite yet. Remember the radio news from GTA 3? Let's take a listen to it once again.
So I'm sitting here reading the Liberty Tree, and it says in nearby Carcer City, a good day for law and order as Police Chief Gary Shaver was cleared of corruption charges in a controversial decision by the courts. Let's hope those missing witnesses turn up safe and sound.
The host referred to Carcer as nearby Liberty City.
And it says in nearby Carcer City.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, neither Cleveland nor definitely Chicago really come off as being near New York City, not even in the most general basis there is. According to what this GTA 3 radio host told us, Carcer City would make the most sense when it was either Philadelphia or Buffalo, as they are the two closest possible cities to NYC, which would again completely overturn the logic behind Michael robbing the place in 1988. A case could be made that Carcer City represents two different cities depending on which universe we are talking about. So, if we are talking about GTA 5 and the HD universe, it's either Chicago or Cleveland, and if we are talking about GTA 3 and the 3D universe, then it's either Pittsburgh or Buffalo. But what I don't like about this theory is that none of the GTA cities have never ever worked like that. Liberty City is and always has been New York City in both universes. The same case goes for Los Santos and Vice City. Even San Fierro and Las Venturas are both canonically confirmed to also exist in the HD universe, representing San Francisco and Las Vegas.
Well, that's the tech boom asset bubble for you. First it's $1 million apartments in San Fierro shitholes. Then your coffee costs $4 a cup. Your bus stop's got a Wi-Fi connected smart coach in it for corporate use only. Oh, and you've got to pay $5 million or your IAA pal gets his head cut off. Maybe now you guys will do something about the broken economy, huh?
So, what the hell is going on with this place? Although this theory has yet to be covered by anyone on the internet, then I will be the first to come out to claim that Carcer City mainly represents the city of Chicago, and there are a few reasons why this is most likely to be the reality. First off, Carcer City is notorious for being a crime-infested city, and even as a European, I know that this is the exact same stigma that most famously follows Chicago, with the O Block and the south side of Chicago being quite literally infamous for their crime. Secondly, for being the third largest city in the US, it is straight up just weird that GTA hasn't ever taken place in Chicago, nor has it even been mentioned in the overall storyline.
I'm gonna name some cities, you tell me if they would make a good city for a GTA game. Chicago.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm amazed, frankly, that they haven't done Chicago.
Thirdly, Michael says that the bank he robbed was on the outskirts of Carcer City.
Huh? Mikey, bro, what was your first bank score?
88, outskirts of Carcer City. Took a small franchise for 10G.
For a city to have an outskirts region with banks to rob, it has to be a larger city, and Chicago is both the biggest city in the region, plus it is known to really sprawl out in general, creating these famous outskirts regions. So, my theory is that while Carcer takes inspiration from many different Midwestern industrial towns, then it still largely represents the city where our Load Saber Fate guy lives in. And finally, although it might be an atrocious take, then there is just something about the name Carcer that kind of feels to represent the name Chicago. Might it be that both cities start with the letter C, or the fact that Carcer means prison in Latin? I am not quite sure. And while it contradicts the info that we heard on the GTA 3 radio, I would just say that being near Liberty City was just a phrase that needed to be included to make it make sense that Carcer City would be included in the Liberty City newspaper, the Liberty Tree.
I'm sitting here reading the Liberty Tree, and it says in nearby Carcer City,
But what do you guys think? Definitely let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with me. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.